Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with a video that I am very sad that I have to be making, but it is what it is. These people have chosen to do what they've done, so now I've got to call them out for being a bunch of crooks. Yeah. See, I had cut Mythic a break, and I had talked about them previously when they pulled this crap over the whole Darkest Dungeon game, right? They did this over this game. I have this pulled up. Yeah. This one, right? Yeah. And I backed that, and I was a little pissed off when I got the email and found out that now they were coming to people and saying, hey, we're Oliver. We've got our hands out. We'd like some more. And I was willing to cut them a break then. And the reason I was willing to cut them a break then was because, okay, it's COVID, whatever. We'll call this a one-off. All right. Shipping costs had gone up. I had heard from plenty of other publishers how they were hating the shipping costs is 2-3 times what it was. Well, shipping's gone back down now. All right. So shipping isn't the shit that it was. So they can't cry shipping anymore like they were during Darkest Dungeon. And what I'm seeing here is a massive amount of mismanagement, because this is the game that they've now got going on. Six Siege, the board game. Now I backed this. Now, thankfully, I backed this at the lowest tier, although I'm trying to get a refund now. I'll let you guys know how that goes, but I very much doubt that I'll get a refund. Honestly, if I had to bet right now, I would bet that there's not going to be a refund and there's not going to be a game associated with this. If I had to bet right now from what I've seen, what they're pulling, my guess is that they are going to do this whole, we want your contribution. Basically, they're extorting people for money because they're saying, hey, you have to give us this money within 2 weeks. And if you don't, then we're not going to give you your pledge, or we might eventually, but probably not. And you have to give it to us within this 2 weeks, period. Right? And it's a tiered amount that they're asking for here. I've actually already got pulled up. Look at this. Look at this crap. If you got the base level, which thankfully that's all I did for this, it's $40. I'm not giving them $40 more, right? And they're saying this isn't shipping costs. This is production costs. This is so we can produce the game. Well, that's what I paid you for in the first place. That's what the Kickstarter amount was for, was production costs to pay those figures. They're essentially trying to come back now and say, well, the cost of business has gone up, so we're going to charge you more. Where in the hell do they get off doing this? Nowhere else in business can you do this, and it's essentially a loophole that Kickstarter allows. And what I think that they have decided is they're going to do this, whether they've hemorrhaged money, they've mismanaged, whatever they've done. They have not been smart, or they're just being greedy, one, but they're exploiting the Kickstarter loophole to try to extort their backers for more money. And I see them trying to get these contributions and then saying, well, we didn't get enough, so we're not going to be able to produce that game anyway. So, meh. And since it's a Kickstarter, not only are you out your Kickstarter funds, now you're going to be out your contribution funds as well. What? Like, what are you trying to pull here? And here's the thing. I don't think that they're able to do this legally. Well, look at what they're trying to charge here. Okay, $40 for the base. The Trooper, the gameplay all in, $100 more. This is on top of what you've already freaking paid, right? This is not a kick. $130. But that's not all. That's not all. And I had the picture somewhere and I lost it now, so I'll just tell you. They're doing this in a tiered email system, right? Where they're sending out the emails to people, but it appears like they're sending them out to the smooth operators first, because I haven't even got an email yet. Fresh recruit here. Haven't even got an email saying what I owe as my contribution, because people who were smooth operators who had paid, I believe it was 250, 245, something like that, dollars already for an all-in. Actually, let's pull that up and see what it was for the all-in. 269. 269 for the all-in, and the game looked good. God, that's so sad. So they've already paid roughly $270 for the all-in previously. Now they're saying 130 on top, but that's what they're telling people. That's what they're saying. What these people actually got was another bill for $245. Bill. Not a Oliver with our hands out, please, sir, may we have some more. This was a demand. You must pay this or you don't get your game that you already paid us for. Mythic has essentially decided they're going to destroy Kickstarter and GameFound and all this other shit because they're trying to extort their customers now. I see them doing this with every freaking Kickstarter that they've gotten. Sadly, I've got another one left that they owe me that I'm fairly confident that I'll never get from them. I'm not that concerned about the 6th Siege because at least I backed at a lower level, but I got Monster Apocalypse too. I was so happy. So happy. No. I can see they're going to put every one of their Kickstarters now has comments about people talking about this. No one has any faith anymore that they're going to actually produce anything. And this is just going to cause them to hemorrhage even more money because now they're sticking it to their customers and the customers are now boycotting this. When it came to Darkest Dungeon, the fees were a lot smaller and people were much more willing to pay it. Some didn't, but the majority did, right? When it came to Darkest Dungeon. But with 6th Siege, they're not. The majority aren't going to pay this. It's way higher. In some cases, it's the cost of the freaking Kickstarter. $245 extra on top of the $270 that you already paid. And that's for the smooth operators. There's no telling what the others are going to be because we haven't seen those yet. All right, of what they're trying to do. And what it is they were nickel and diming people for a bunch of stuff. So I saw this guy's list. He had a bunch of little add-ons, the bag, the map, the neoprene, the crap that you can get from Kickstarters. Okay, great. All these little add-ons where they were saying, well, you owe us $8 more for this, $10 more for this, blank for more for this. They added all that up, plus the 130 here, plus 78 motherfudging dollars more for shipping. More. Not for shipping. Not for shipping on top of the shipping that has already been paid. This is what they are doing. And they are essentially holding guns to the heads of everyone who's already backed this stuff and saying, pay us this within 2 weeks or you're not getting anything. And because it's freaking Kickstarter, they can essentially do that because Kickstarter has that little loophole of, oh, you're not guaranteed anything and this is you're backing an idea and it's stupid shit. Kickstarter's a pre-order system. Kickstarter started as something that's fine, but it's changed into something else. GameFound is essentially now what Kickstarter was or is becoming and all this other stuff, but we have to start building in some protections and these companies have to start taking steps. Now, from what I was reading, I don't believe they're going to be able to pull this scam to the level that they're probably going to be able to scam people as far as the original back, the 1.6, 1.7 million, whatever they got for 6 Siege. That money's probably gone. That money's that nothing can be done. We might be able to claw back a little bit of it, but not much. This, however, this is different because this is outside of Kickstarter. And there are legal protections in place. I know Europe has some, America has some. It's going to vary based on your location on what type of protections you have. And then on top of it, you do have some protections depending on the way you paid. If you paid via PayPal, if you paid via credit card, whatever you paid with, there are occasionally some protections built in there where you have something like 180 days, but it's not 180 days from time of purchase. It's 180 days from like the time of receiving the product. Well, none of us have received this product. It hasn't actually even been produced yet. So there's chances and there's options out there. You're going to have to look into it on your own to discover what you can do for yourself. But this isn't going to fly. People aren't going to pay this. They're way outside of it here. They're essentially doubling the cost of the Kickstarter. I fully anticipate my total being something like $100, $120, whatever, that they are going to expect me to pay on top of what I've already paid for the Kickstarter. They're essentially doubling the price of it. I'm not going to pay that. No one else is going to pay that. If it were, hey, everyone chip in $10 so we can help cover shipping costs, okay, people probably do that. $20, maybe. But when they're doing this, when they essentially say, you've got 2 weeks to pay us double what you've already paid us, and there's no guarantee that you're going to get anything, no, people aren't going to pay it. There's hundreds of people already in the comments who are talking about this crap. Let's see. You can pull it up in the comments here. Just comment after comment of people who are just livid over what they're trying to pull. Now, see, part of this is they're trying to say, you know, as they're talking about here, that it's the cost of materials has gone up or the cost of labor's gone up. Inflation's okay. And that's freaking business, dude. You don't get to do that. That's not how business works. Now, yes, there are contracts out there that are negotiable, like, hey, it's a floating rate or blah, blah, blah. That isn't this. All right. So imagine like that new Tesla truck or whatever it was that they're making, the electronic trucks. I know they're making some of those. Imagine you pay, you know, let's say it's $50,000, just round number. You've paid, like they guarantee you, hey, you buy our truck for this price and we'll get it to you. We're going to get it to you in 6 months. Okay, roger that. Here's my 50. And you sign off, you do your thing. That's it. Well, during that period of time, cost of batteries goes up, cost of rubber goes up, whatever. They don't get to turn around and come back after you've paid, after you've bought said product and say, hey, you owe us another 10. That's how much we want to ensure that it's profitable for us. No, you made the deal. You made the promise. You said you could produce it at X price, so that's what you're going to do. That's what you need to be held to. You don't get to change the contract after the fact. You don't get to change the cost after the fact. What we're dealing with is someone who is using Kickstarter as a back end, as a scam, as a way to screw people over. They figured out they could do it once, and they did it with Darkest Dungeon. Look, they still got the freaking button for late pledges. If you go to their website right freaking now, their games, the Darkest Dungeon games, on sale for something like 30% off, 40% off, whatever the hell off, 50% off that they're trying to sell it for. And to me, that's just showing more and more and more that they're basically trying to grab everything they can before the ship sinks, right? They are selling off anything they can. They're liquidating everything they can. And they're trying to scam everyone they can for as much money as they can and then bounce. Because you're sitting here telling people, pay this or you get nothing. We don't care what you've already paid. But we're not going to give refunds unless we feel like it. And we're not going to make any promises. Just give us your money, right? And then they have this list of other games that still need to be produced. We've got Hell, The Last Saga. God, I'm glad I missed this one because it looks kind of interesting. It's minis and shit. You know, who doesn't like mini games? It looks kind of interesting. It's another one by Mythic Games. Okay, stacks of tiles, map tiles, minis, monsters, all that cool stuff that people like. Well, when are people going to get this? Never, if ever, right? This one's ahead of it, and this one's already late. They were a year late already on They already supposed to have shipped this, and they're way behind. Haven't even started producing it. Now they're coming out with, give us money or we're going to not give you anything. So what are the chances people are going to get these games? What? Nothing. There's no faith. And then on top of it, look, late pledge, all freaking there. It's there. It's even, I accidentally clicked on 6 Siege. It's even here on 6 Siege, right? That's not how you run your company. That's not how you ensure people have faith in your product. I'll tell you something to do. I don't like everything that SFG, Steamforged Games, has done, but to their credit, they're doing a free printed card pack. Monster Hunter World board game just started delivering. I actually just got my copy. Really? It's actually kind of good. Probably going to do a video on it. But that's actually going out to backers right now. There were some errors with it. And something I can agree with them on is the fact that no matter how much they try to proofread it, troubleshoot it, do all that crap, they can't compare to tens of thousands of people getting their hands on it and looking through it. They're going to catch errors. Well, they caught a handful of errors that are on different cards, products, blah, blah, blah. They're printing out these cards and sending them to everyone for free. They're not charging anyone anything. They're not saying, hey, here's the cards, the updated cards, but you've got to pay us, shipping costs to get it. Well, just pay shipping and we'll send it to you, which they could do if they wanted, but they're not. They're fixing it on their own dime, the problems that happened. That's the way you engineer faith in your company. People are commenting about the fact that they're happy about that. That means that the next time they have a Kickstarter, I'm more likely to back it, right? There's other issues with Steamforged Games I won't get into here, but at least I have faith that if there's a problem that I'm going to have it rectified. At least that I have faith that if I pay something to them, that I'll get what I paid for, and they're not going to turn around and try to extort me for money later on. This is what, the third time Mythic Games has done this? Second, third, whatever it is. And there's no reason to believe that they're not going to do that from here on out. I mean, they're still trying to sell the damn game, that they're telling people they don't have enough money to produce. Your contribution. No, your extortion. That's what it is. It's extortion. You are holding a gun to our head and saying, give us more money or we won't produce it. This is garbage. They should be held legally liable for what they're doing. And like I said, I think there's a good chance that that could happen as far as this contribution goes. Or this stuff here that they're trying to pull, they are not going to be able to hide behind Kickstarter. You guys put it down in the comments. Let me know what you think or what you know, any of that good, happy crap. As far as I know, there are laws that prevent them from being able to do something scummy like this. So essentially, They're selling you something here. They're saying, give us this money and you will blah, 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 blah. All right, you'll get whatever. So that should be for those who do pay this extortion, which I would be surprised if they got half the people to pay it. But for those who do, doesn't that take them outside the purview of that Kickstarter protection, right? The Kickstarter, being what it is, allows them to screw people over. But if they do this, since it is being done outside of Kickstarter, they shouldn't be able to say, hey, this is a project. This is your faith in us. You know guarantees. Well, now you have to give them that guarantee because you're forcing them to pay this. And this isn't with Kickstarter. I would think the legalities would change. And now they're going to be held accountable. But still, regardless, it shouldn't matter because people shouldn't pay it. This is the time where people should stick their feet in the ground and say, nope, we're not going to pay it. We've already paid you. We've paid shipping. We paid whatever. Or actually, I can't remember if we paid shipping yet or not. I think we did, but regardless, we've already paid, right? We don't need to double the cost of the damn Kickstarter to get it again. To get it in the first place, rather. This is extortion. And they've got up-teen games still to be done. I'm thinking they did what other companies have done, where they use the funds from B to pay for A, and now they need to use C to pay for B, and they kept doing it so long that now they've run into some problems, and they're trying to extort even more money from people. Either that, or my other theory, the business is closing, that they are going out of business. They know they're going out of business, and they're just trying to rake in everything they can before they shutter their doors in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out, but I'll end up doing another video depending on what does happen. When I get my email, I'll let you guys know, but my guess is it's going to be a little while because I am at this base level, and it seems like they are trying to do this from highest to lowest, and that too, that makes me think that they're being shady because they don't want as much information getting out as possible. They want to try to get the big fish, right? And then the middle fish, and then the little fish, right? Trying to squeeze every little dollar they can. That's why everyone's isn't being sent out at once. You're sending out an email. You could set that up to do mass emails. Why would you do highest to lowest rather than just sending them all out at once, unless you're trying to hide bits of information? Anyway, you guys put it down in the comments. Let me know what you think of Mythic and all this crap that they're pulling. It's outrageous. I really have a feeling that we're not going to see other games being released by them, sadly enough. Let's see if we can actually pull up the list of everything that they've not backed by them, what's created by them. They've done Anasteer, Monster Apocalypse, Six Siege, Super Fantasy Brawl, Darkest Dungeon, Hell the Last Saga, Steam Watchers, Enchanters East Quest, Time of Legends, Joan of Arc, Super Fantasy Brawl, the first one, Reich Busters, Solomon Kane, and Time of Legends, Joan of Arc. Evidently, they did that one a couple times. All of these got produced. They were doing okay for a while. I know I've seen all of these. I know I've seen them all, right? With the exception of obviously the ones that are just now being produced. But it seems like, yeah, these last ones that they've hit, Darkest Dungeon was bad, or not bad. Some of the product was bad, but go watch my review on it. Is where they started extorting people. So now we've got Hell to go through. Like that. Six Siege, a Monster Apocalypse. And is this a recent one? I think this is a recent one. Yeah, regardless. This one might as well too. So what are we looking at? Anywhere between 4 and 6 games that they're potentially going to be sticking it to people saying, give us more money? God, hope not. Hope not. I know I'm not the only one who's probably in this boat of having a couple of games that Mythic owes me and have to see if we get them. Huh. It's surprising. The one I thought I would never get actually came in, but now ones that I was never worried about suddenly I don't see showing up. Anyway, let's hope for the best. You guys put down what you know below. Let me know what you think. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.